and she had strep throat. I said, oh, dang, so she's probably not going to be here. But where's Christiana? That's when I was told that Christiana was put on the plane and she left to go do a book. And I said, well, why would she do that? She's been here all week long. Why didn't nobody tell me what was going on? Then I started thinking, this is mess. This is not true. This is not true. Somebody lying on this girl. This is not true. They playing games. Of course, I'm not talking to Rittany. I don't know. Me and Rittany are not friends. So we don't socialize like that. So I didn't think to even call her. In the moment, I'm thinking, let me figure out what the hell is going on. I'm not adding anybody to this live. I was asked to be added to the live last night. Everybody spoke what they wanted to speak last night. So I'm about to speak on my behalf tonight, right now. So anyway, you can say it sounds like a lie. If you want, it doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't even matter to me because it's not a lie. I didn't know what was going on. Honestly, I did not know what was going on. I went into the dollhouse and I told the girls that I was told that she was put on a plane. She wasn't going to be there, and Micaiah was not going to be there. Before we walked in there, and I wish Marquel was up, but before we walked in there, I told Marquel, I said, Marquel, this is going to be bad. If these girls get upset, I'm going to be upset. I'm not going to force them to do anything that they don't want to do. I promised these girls at the beginning of the season that they would have a voice, meaning they will be able to tell me what they wanted to do and what they didn't want to do. And you don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. And I have text messages between myself and the girls asking them about the different categories, letting them know. And we picking and choosing who's going to do what. And I can post those as well. But at the end of the day, what was the point of that? What was the point of it? I wasn't mad at the girls. I even said that they didn't air. I'm not mad at Christiana. Christiana is a child. She didn't put herself on a plane. She didn't decide to do this on her own. It doesn't even matter. But of course, they're not going to play that. They're not going to play that. So it doesn't matter. They're not going to play that. But anyway, moving on. I also said, oh, I promise y'all would have a voice. I already said that. When I said, and I clapped my hands and I said, I can't, that's because right before that, I said, if they get upset, I'm walking up out of here because I don't want the girls upset. And Canary started talking and was expressing her feelings, and she started crying immediately. And that's when I said, I can't do this. And I walked out because it wasn't fair. And it wasn't fair. They didn't deserve that. And me saying they didn't deserve that had nothing to do with Christiana. I wasn't even talking about her. I'm talking about the situation. They didn't deserve what happened. Whoever is at fault, I don't blame her mom, because if they had a booking and she had to go somewhere and she had something that she had to do and somewhere she had to be, all I'm saying is somebody should have said something to me. Tell me what's going on. That way I can back you up on your end of it and we can move forward. But we're going to keep going because that's what I said. The three things that I said on the show last night, but it's being made to be way more than what it is. But those are the three things that I said. It's being said that I use people. How do I use people? In what way do I use people? It was said that I used Tori, and Tori is gone. Tori worked for the network. I was the reason why Tori was even there. I said I thought Tori would be a good addition to the team. Some of the girls want to go to dance schools. He has the technique. Why not put Tori on payroll with the network and give him the opportunity? Put him on payroll and give him the opportunity to coach and teach the girls the different techniques that he said the different techniques that he has, so that he can bring them on. That's it. They always wanted a second coach there. There was Kayla at first, and then there was then Tori came. And now that Tori's gone, now it's Marquel. They always wanted that extra person there. But anyway, that's not my choice. Again, I don't choose the cast for the show. Everybody's giving me too much credit. I don't choose the cast for the show. But I don't need to use anybody. One thing Rittany did say that was right. The girls do assist in making the choreography. She's right about that. We have battle squad powwows. And sometimes we'll get together and the different girls will come up with different pieces of choreography. And we put those pieces of choreography together. They'll come up with something. They'll come up with something. I'll come up with something. We work together to put it all together. So yes, I do have help with putting all the stands together. I've never said I do everything by myself when it comes to choreography. I've never said that. And the stands that the girls make up are named after them. So when we do them, like we have one called Oh So Suave. Kendra Nay made that up. We got one called Micaiah New Medium. Micaiah made it up. We got one called Tick Tick Boom. It's named after Micaiah. Like all of them have the names that are going behind their particular stands that they make up. And I try to make sure if they made up that choreography, they're in the front to represent and showcase. There's one called The Underdogs, because during the episode when we went to New York, the group, the Underdogs that was in the ballet point shoes, they made that up. So I put Faith in the front for that one. But anyway, moving on. She was right about that though, because we do work together to put the stands together. We do that. As far as the Jackson team being abandoned, why I left, them not competing, dues, business, closing the studio, removing the floors, booking, etc. Let's get into that one thing at a time. So first of all, I did not abandon the Dancing Dolls of Jackson. I have more than one company. I have the Dancing Dolls in Birmingham, the Dancing Dolls in Atlanta. I have 3 studios. I have to make sure that I'm moving around and sharing myself with all 3 studios. Now in Birmingham hasn't had me there for 2 years. I haven't been there with Birmingham for 2 years. So and Birmingham wanted my attention too, but because I was filming, I couldn't always be there. I chose to leave and move to Atlanta because the Jackson Dancing Dolls needed a mental break, number 1. Number 2, it was time for me to start living my own life. I spent a lot of time with the Jackson Dancing Dolls for the last 17, almost 18 years of my life. It was time for me to start living my own life. I don't think that it's fair for anybody to expect me at 40 years old, who have been doing this for almost 20 years, to just continue to live for other people. I don't know anybody in this world that would just live for someone else and not live for themselves. I've given Jackson as much as I can give them. It was never about BringIt, because I never wanted to be on BringIt in the first place. I never wanted to. I declined the show from the very beginning because I didn't want my past to hurt the girls. There are producers, the original producers of the show that did the pilot, that talked about this very thing, because I didn't want the past to hurt the girls, so I declined to do it. But it ended up coming back around to me anyway, and I got the receipts and text messages for that too, because it's true. I don't have a reason to lie about that. I was never interested in being on TV. All I ever wanted to do was have a dance team and to coach and to make sure these kids could do something positive with their life. That's it. I didn't care about any of the other stuff. So how can I abandon something that I made sure was in working condition and they had what they needed? Jackson wasn't doing anything for me personally anymore. When I say Jackson, I mean the city of Jackson was not doing anything for me personally. And if you outgrow something, do you just stay in it? It doesn't make sense for anybody to even say, because I've heard people say, well, Donnie, you shouldn't have left because Christiana was captain. I'm not going to stay and stand somewhere that I'm unhappy, that I'm not progressing, me as a person, I'm not moving forward, just so other people can be happy. I've spent my life for so long allowing other people to be happy. And I wasn't happy. For the last 2.5, almost 3 years of being in Jackson, I wasn't happy. Some of it had to do with the Dancing Dolls, but a lot of it had to do with me feeling like I'm not moving forward with my own life. So I didn't abandon anybody. The Jackson Dancing Dolls were left with a studio with brand new floors. They have lights, water, gas, heat. They have 3 amazing coaches that can take care of what they need. They were left with field show. They were left with full stands. They have so much choreography that was created between them, myself, and other coaches that have come in. It doesn't matter. I don't need to be there for it to run. I don't know what company's owner is there for their business every single day. Not especially if they have more than one. BringIt is not filming right now. So I took the chance on Diana for once and said, I want to do this for myself. I want to do this for myself. That's selfish for anybody to think or feel that I'm supposed to continue to give up my life for other people when I've done it for the last 18 years that this team has been around. And if anybody doesn't like it, I'm sorry that you don't like that. But I had to do what I needed to do for myself. I have yet to spend the time that I want to spend with my son, with my husband, with my family. I've yet to do some of the things that Diana wants to do because I've spent so much time doing what everybody else wanted me to do. And if anybody doesn't understand, I promise I'm sorry. And for her to say that I push my son off, if I'm coaching, I'll ask him to wait, and that's it. Because Kobe is very seldom around when I'm at the Dollhouse filming. Very seldom. He took 2 hip-hop classes with Mr. Tim down the walkway in the second studio. Like I said, Dollhouse kids took class. He took class, and he was at football every day. He was either with my dad, down there in class with Tim, or with his dad. One of the three places. Kobe wasn't always around. And when I'm filming for Bring It, Kobe stopped coming when we were filming after that horse episode because he was asking questions about whether he was getting a horse for Christmas. I don't think he really just understood what was going on, which I'm glad. But Kobe hasn't been around. Nobody knows anything about him because you haven't seen him. You won't see him. But moving on. I talked about abandonment. I talked about why I left. Oh, and why the Dancing Dolls of Jackson are not competing right now. During the whole filming of season 5, when we were on tour, when I found out that we got picked up for season 5 and we were about to start filming again, and when I told the girls that we were filming, the girls rolled their eyes, they were upset, and I understood. I said, you know what, y'all? We're going to get through this together. Don't worry about it. I'm going to make sure, if I can, that it is as less stressful as possible. I'm going to do my very best. And I promised them that, and I missed that. I meant that. I meant what I said. I promised them, and I meant what I said. Okay, so moving forward. Now we're into season 5, and we're filming. I'm straight up talking to the production about the girls being tired. They literally just came off tour, had to get off tour because they got off tour last year late. They got back to school late. Some of the kids went through so much drama with people at the schools wanted to demote them from different levels of dance. The kids having issues with grades, like the seniors, like it was so much going on with them last year. It was so much going on with them last year. And I can't say that the tour company didn't care, but I feel like in a way they were trying to get what they needed to get. But that doesn't have anything to do with me. Nothing whatsoever to do with me. So when we got back, when the show continued to film, it filmed all season. Like I said earlier, I'm thinking that we're going to be done, and they came back with extra episodes, which is the ones that are airing right now. And these episodes that you're watching were filmed March, April, and May of 2018. So once we got back from the tour, I'm knowing the girls complained all season 5 about being tired, not being able to go to football games, not being able to have a normal life. They complained a lot. I heard what they had to say, whether it was in our group chats that we were talking to, or whether it was in a group chat that we were talking to, or if I was talking to them directly. There was a lot that was being said, and I heard what they had to say. So I made sure on my end, that I let production know what the issues were, and I still have text messages to prove that as well. Coming off of the tour, I'm thinking I'm helping by giving the girls a break. We're not filming, y'all. So that means it's football season. Go to your football games, go to your basketball games, go to the mall, hang out with your friends. I'm honest to God on my life thinking I'm helping by giving you a break. No stress, no worries. I'm about to move. I can go ahead on the move, get settled in my house, watch my son go to school every day, try to get the dollhouse here in Atlanta on track, and spend more time at the dollhouse in Birmingham, because I hadn't always been there, if at all. I hadn't been able to really just go. I had a great staff, so I wasn't really worried about it. But that is the reason why they're not competing. Not because I don't care. I'm thinking about them. Everybody's going to say, oh, she lying. I don't need to cover up nothing. If you believe it or not, you wanted to hear what I had to say, so I'm telling you. You either believe it or you don't. It's totally up to you. Because once I'm done, I'm done. I'm not addressing it anymore. Everything that's being posted and said is being screenshotted and recorded. I've already been told to say what I have to say, make sure that I keep it tactful and stay on task, and that's what I'm doing. Moving on. I've already talked about the choreography. Yes, I did say the girls and I worked on choreography together. No, I did not do it all by myself. Between myself, alumni, Coach Ariel, and a lot of the girls, we all put choreography together. The closing of the studio, yes. The Dollhouse Dance Factory in Jackson will potentially close if things do not pick up around there. It is a business. It's not just about Bring It. It's not just about the dancing dolls. I have said it so many times about what the dollhouse is, and because they only are going to show the dancing dolls competing and representing the dollhouse, nobody even knows what else the dollhouse does. Nobody probably even cares, and that's fine. But Dollhouse Dance Factory is a business first. It takes revenue for the business to run. I don't care if I got $10 billion. I don't know anybody that can run a business and wants to allow people to come to their business, receive services in their business for free, and not pay for those services. Again, like I said earlier, you can't go to McDonald's and eat for free. You can't go to Walmart and shop for free. I can't go to any of these places and do anything for free. It costs money to run a business. Dollhouse has 3 buildings in Jackson. I have to pay light bill times 3. I'm paying rent times 3, gas times 3, water times 3, insurance times 1 because I have to have a $500,000 insurance policy on every building. This stuff costs money. And to be clear, the money that the Dancing Dolls pay for dues does not even halfway cover the overhead that I have at the dollhouse in Jackson. I come out my personal pocket every month to pay for it, and I'm okay with that because as long as the parents are meeting their financial obligation, it doesn't make any sense for me to overcharge them or to ask them to pay more money than they've already been paying from the beginning before BringIt came. It doesn't make any sense for me to do that. And because, like I said, this is a business. This is a business. So I have to run my companies as a business, and I always have. Even while BringIt was filming, everybody was paying dues. So I don't understand what the problem is. And let's continue to talk about BringIt and filming and the Jackson team and all of that. Because while the Jackson team is filming for BringIt, I'm giving a budget. I'm giving a specific budget of $2,500 to make everything that you see happen. To make everything that you see happen on TV, I'm supposed to make that happen with $2,500 every single week. You see the very large creative dances with all the props and all the costumes. I have to pay the DJ to make the music, and no DJ Ron make the music, and no DJ Ron does not do the competition music. So he's not giving me a discount because that's my homeboy. We don't do that. I have to pay a whole other DJ to do the competition music, and it's $150 to $200 per track because it's so many pieces of music mixed in to make one track, and there's like 5 or 6 intro and all that. But anyway, there's that. There's costumes. There's props. There's makeup. I have to pay for all of these things for all of these girls. $2,500 is not enough. So what I did every month was every week, because I was getting this every week. What I did every week was I made sure that if I couldn't stay in budget, I still paid for it. It came out of my personal pocket. Some weeks they may not have gotten a new stand battle suit because I couldn't afford to go over budget that week when I knew I had a creative dance that was coming up a couple of weeks down the line. So I would save and put the checks together so that I could pay for it. That's called budgeting and making it make sense and not breaking myself. I don't have to pay for anything for the Dancing Dolls, but I did. I paid for a lot of things. I made sure I made sure that I paid for what needed to be paid for. And if anybody doesn't believe it, I promise I don't care. You asked me, so I'm telling you. Moving on, removing the floors. Yes, if the Dollhouse Dance Factory in Jackson does close, I will remove the floors. That's the only way the floors will be removed. If the Dollhouse Dance Factory in Jackson closes, I will remove floors. And yes, Lifetime did pay for those floors that are in there. I didn't pay for those floors, so Rittany is right about that. I didn't pay for them. Lifetime paid for them. I put it in my contract for season 3 because I felt like the girls were getting hurt on the floor. They were dancing on. You keep expecting for them to slam their bodies on the floor and do this, that, and the third. So I said, we need some type of flooring in here. I can't afford it. So somebody has to do something. Somebody has to do something. So they offered to put the floors in. I said, okay, great, let's go. So if I do move, why would I leave the floors there and not take them to the next studio for the next set of kids to be able to use, be it in Birmingham or be it in Atlanta, wherever I go next. Why wouldn't I take the floors to have them be used instead of them just sitting there? That doesn't make any sense. I have no intent of closing the Dollhouse in Jackson. But if the Dollhouse in Jackson doesn't do what I need for it to do, it's the same thing if the Dollhouse in Birmingham, same thing for the Dollhouse in Atlanta. If they're not making sense, it doesn't make sense for me to put myself out there. So if anybody is upset about that, it is what it is. Everybody has so much to say, and that's cool. I hear Rittany's on live. That's great. Good for her. She was on live last night. She's on live right now. That's great. I really don't care. Everybody asked me about me and what I had to say, and I'm telling you, if you believe it, you believe it. If you don't, at this point, it's whatever. Moving on. As far as the tour is concerned, who's going on the tour? I have no idea who is going on the tour. I do not know. I have never decided who goes on the tour in all the 3 seasons that we've had the tour. I've never decided who goes on the tour. I'm gonna say it again. I have never decided who goes on the tour. What they do is they send me a list and they tell me who they think should go, and they ask me, what do I think about the list? If there's people on there that are, or if there are people missing, I should say, that should be on there, I would ask them to consider these certain people. You consider these people. If you consider them, great. If you consider them, great. And if you consider them great, but nothing I can do about it because the tour company is spending their own money. It's not my money. It's not my tour company. I don't decide. Okay. Also, too, now moving on to these buses. The very first season that we went on the tour, the Dancing Dolls had a regular charter bus. Rittany is absolutely correct about that. They had a regular charter bus. The reason why they had a regular charter bus was because a lot of the parents wanted to be able to go on the tour, but because I was told that certain sleeper buses don't have beds and stuff in it, the only way that everybody would be able to go is if they rode a regular charter bus. That's not my choice either. I understand the parents not wanting to send their kids out. I promise I get it. I totally get it. I promise I get it. Because that's being away from everybody for a long time. No, I wasn't on the bus with the girls. I ride the bus with the crew. I ride the bus with the stage manager, the DJ, the makeup artist, the hairstylist, the tour manager, and it's one other person that's on the bus. It's one other person that's on the bus. I don't have a reason to tell lies, whoever this is. If you feel like I'm lying, then why are you on here? I don't have a reason to lie. I'm the only person outside of other people that have been there that can tell you facts, and I know the facts about what bus I'm on. The Dancing Dolls had the bus. The Dancing Dolls had the bus that they had because the parents at the time wanted to go. Everybody couldn't go. So to accommodate the parents, they got that bus. I don't buy buses. I don't dictate the tour. I don't do anything. And I'm tired of people trying to give me credit for things that I just don't have credit for. I don't control the tour. Anyway, as far as my bus going one way and their bus going the other, you're absolutely right. She's right about that too. When the girls got done with the show, because of child labor laws and them being under a certain age, not my law, child labor laws, they had to be out of the building by a certain time. They had to be out of the building by a certain time. So with them having to be gone, yes, they're under 18 with the exception. I want to say Kayla was the only one. I'm not sure the first year. I think, yeah, Kayla was the only one that was 18. So she's the only one that was allowed to stay behind. But because she's on the bus with them, she has to leave whenever their bus leaves. She has to go whenever their bus goes, she has to go. So I'm stuck sitting at the venue doing nothing. So why wouldn't I go out into the lobby and sign autographs for fans or anybody else that asks for autographs? And Rittany, again, she is absolutely right. When she said that I won't sign the merchandise of other girls, she's absolutely right. I personally feel like it's disrespectful for me to write on a Sanjay shirt and I'm not Sanjay. Why would I sign my name on her shirt when I'm not Sanjay? But what I do is if somebody has merchandise of another person's, I will say, I'm not going to sign this, but give me something else to sign, be it they ticket, cell phone case, they purse. I've even given out signed autograph pictures that I've had. I've done all of these things. And anybody that's come through that line that knows this, they know it to be true. The security that's been there, DJ Ron stood up there with me the first and second tours. So he saw me doing these things, high-fiving the kids. They did not allow me to take pictures. When I say they, meaning the tour company, did not allow me to take pictures when the show was over. I didn't even have to do that. I did it because I wanted to. It's not about money. My t-shirt sales were doing fine. It's not about money. Everything is not always about money. If I'm gonna make money and it's meant for me to make it, then fine. If I'm not going to make it, then fine. It's whatever God has for me, it's going to be for me. I'm not going to miss it. I don't have to go chasing it. I'm not going to miss it. It's totally okay. But she was right. Because at the end of the night, I do go into the lobby and meet and greet with the fans because some of the fans can't afford to sit up front. They sitting further back or up in the nosebleeds. This gives me an opportunity to be able to meet everybody. I get to meet everybody, high five and say hi. I get to say hi to all of these people that are sitting far away that may not even get a chance to even see my face. The girls cannot go into the lobby because, again, like I said, child labor laws prevent them from being able to do that. Not my law, child labor laws. Not my choice of the tour company. I asked them, could I do it? And again, I want to make this clear, nothing to do with money. My t-shirt says we're doing fine. It nothing to do with money. So she was right about that. Moving on. Bed bugs. I heard about bed bugs because when the girls leave, again, like I said, the girls leave the show every evening because they have to be gone. They go to a hotel. They get to go to a hotel. They get to shower. They get to chill and hang out. They get to do all of that. I don't choose the hotels. I don't book the hotels. I'm being blamed for something that has nothing to do with me. If there were bed bugs or if they didn't eat, that has nothing to do with me. If I don't know about it, how can I fix it? How can I fix it? The dancing dolls have a chaperone that's there with them. They also have cell phones. They also have parents. So if there's something going on, somebody got to tell me something. And if I don't know, then what am I supposed to do about it? I did hear about the bed bugs after the fact. And I did say something to the tour company about that. I surely did. I don't have a reason to lie about that either. But how can you expect for me to know something or control something or fix something if I don't have anything to do with it or I don't know anything about it? If there were bed bugs, then damn, yeah, that is messed up. I think that is messed up. And if I'm told, then I can address it. But I can't address something if I'm not being told what's going on. I was told after the fact. Once I was told after the fact, then I said something to the tour company about it. And I moved forward. That's bed bugs. Who gets paid off of the tour? The tour ticket sales, I don't know where that money goes. I don't know who gets the money off of the ticket sales. I'm guessing the tour company because Diana does not. My contract has my name on it. My contract I have a specific set amount that I agree to go on the tour for X amount of dollars. This X amount of dollars is what I agree to, and that's what I go on tour for. And I'm pretty sure everybody else's contract is the same. And if it's not, that's between them and their parents. They agree on what they're going to do, not me. I don't agree. I don't know again, just like I said about the show, I don't know who gets paid for what they get paid for. I do know I don't get any of the money from the ticket sales. I get money from my merchandise that is sold, and I also get money from my participation on the tour. That's it. Outside of that, I don't get anything else. I don't know where the rest of the money goes. Somebody asked that question. That's why I said that. How did I dog the kids and drag the kids on the tour and tell them they wasn't nothing? The very first year on the tour, I high-fived every girl as they came off the stage. I even hugged them after the first night because I was very proud of them. I would holler up the stairs or down the hall or whichever direction that they were. Sometimes they're upstairs or downstairs, depending on the venues. Good job, everybody. And if I didn't say it, I would text them. I always did that. Every night. If I missed the night with not telling them verbally, I would always text them. So how did I dog them? I know the second year, I fussed at them about slacking off. Because you know why? When the girls do something and it's dealing with choreography and formations are off or lighting cues are missed, the stage managers and production managers come to me because that's a part of my job. So now I have to say something to them. So instead of me saying something to the girls right away, I waited to watch and see what they were talking about. When I saw what they were talking about, then I addressed the girls, period. That's it. And we moved on. And same thing with this year. They didn't do anything this year. For me to say I'm mad or anything like that, they didn't do anything this year. They didn't do anything wrong. I thought we had a good tour. I know they were tired, but I thought we had a good tour. Outside of that, I don't know. Let me see. Seniors, money for school, money for books. Why am I required to spend money to give them money for books or money for school? When I went to Jackson State, I got financial aid. I took out student loans. I did what I needed to do to pay for school. Now, if they're feeling like the network should have provided that, that's different. That has nothing to do with me. I'm putting money aside for my own child for when he gets ready to go to school. I don't think that the parents expect me to do that. I don't think that they expected me to do that. I don't think they expected me to. I think when they were talking about that on Rittany's Live, they were talking about TV. I don't think they were talking about me. Because I've never done that for anybody. I've supported them. I try to come to the games if they are performing and see them as much as I can. But remember, I do have other things that I have to do too. I don't know what else I'm expected to do. It's like everybody expects for me to eat, sleep, and breathe, dance and dolls and not do anything else for myself. I'm only supposed to run behind these kids everywhere they go. I do have my own family. I do have things that I'm supposed to do. So I don't know what else everybody was wanting from that situation. But I can't speak to that any further because I don't know any more details as far as that is concerned. Bookings. Yes, the girls are allowed to do bookings. They can do whatever they want to do. They are independent contractors. They are their own person. Whatever they decide to do, wherever they decide to go, I don't control their bookings. No, I do not hate on them. They can do whatever they want to do. Sometimes I post them. Sometimes I don't. If I see them, I post them. If I don't, oh well, it doesn't matter. They don't always post the stuff that I do. It's like, why does it matter? If that's what they want to do, they want to go, I support it. I don't have a problem with it. No, they're not allowed to use the DD4L brand because DD4L brand is my brand. Anytime anybody goes out and they have the words DD4L on anything that they do, they're expected to do certain things. I don't want the girls to feel like they have to succumb to my order of things that have to be done. Because for my buck or die training camps and things that I do, there's a certain order that things have to be done in. DD4L is my brand. It's something that I work for, something that I pay for, something that I slave for. So outside of that, they're their own brand. Each girl is their own individual brand. They should be branding themselves, just like the Christiana had, I think it was Dance Like a Doll or Book Like a Doll or something like that, what she was calling her. I thought it was very clever because it's catchy. Brand your own events. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. So that clears up the booking situation. Not using DD4L. I already talked about that. Oh, this lady that got on live with Rittany. I'm not going to go too further into detail with that because there's legal involvement with that. But I will say some things that she was very much so not correct about. She said that I was told that I recycle used uniforms. That's not true. Every uniform that any dancer on this team has ever gotten is brand new. The only way they will wear a used uniform is if, one, theirs is too small, they lost it, it's been stolen, and I need to find a quick replacement because we're about to perform. But every uniform that every dancer has ever gotten on this team is brand new. And the lady sitting on that live talking, her daughter was a mini. If you know the Dancing Dolls, we've never had minis. Never had minis. This is the first year the Dancing Dolls have had minis. So how would her uniforms be used? Every one of them are brand new because she's a mini. She was right though. She did pay a lot of her money up front. But when you are ordering costumes and ordering uniforms, there are minimums that you have to order. I had a lot of parents, and I'm not going to get into which city, but I had a lot of parents that could not pay their stuff on time. I thought it was messed up for me to just X their kids out, leave them out of the order. It would cost more money to order if you don't order the minimums that they're asking you to order. So I made it a business decision and said I will place the order once everybody makes their first payment. They make their first payment, I order this, and this, second, this, and this, and so on and so forth. You don't understand how business works? That's fine. Because some of y'all on here still saying, oh, she a lot of shit. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You ask my opinion. I'm telling you. I'm giving you facts. My facts. If you don't believe it, that's okay. I